I spent 3 months in Scotland.
What did you spend 3 months in Scotland doing?
NFL Europe.
You did, so
Way
you were
back
Claymore.
in the day. Yeah, I was a Claymore.
There we go, man.
Yeah,
I love
man.
that. Oh, well, I wasn't going to talk about that, but look, we got Brian Jones, the brilliant college football analyst.
We got to talk about the Claymores.
Brilliant college football analyst, former linebacker in the NFL, played for the Saints, but also played for the Scottish Claymores. And now, obviously, that's what we've got to talk about. We'll talk about the NFL Europe days, man. How was that being part of that?
It was horrible. Those people in Scotland are the whitest people on the planet. It's like, y'all need a tan. And it was too cold, and I was there from, I guess, end of March to mid to late June. And it was still cold, but had a blast, man. Got to play St. Andrews and went back and played Glen Eagles and all that a little later, but had a grand old time, man. I love to travel, so to be able to get out and see a different part of the world. Still, to this day, there was a restaurant there. You and I were discussing haggis.
Mm-hmm.
I like haggis, oddly enough. But there was a restaurant there that would fry their cheeseburgers. They had 2 patties, put cheese in the middle, and they put batter, and they'd fry it. If I could find that place, I would bring it to America.
I mean, deep frying things is a Scottish tradition.
Is it?
Oh, absolutely. If you've never had a deep fried Mars bar in your life, it's going to change your world.
Wow. Well, they did
Same
those.
thing.
They
Battered,
did those deep fried
fried.
hamburgers. Oh my good. We would go to that place and we'd buy every burger. It was so freaking good.
The real diet of an athlete. That's what I love to hear.
It was then. It was then. You know, things have changed now. I'm old school.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Brian, what are you here talking about today?
Man, we're talking about some science that Dr. Gavignano, Dr. Christina Gavignano has developed a treatment and a trial study for CTE. Mm-hmm. As you know, covering this sport, man, there's massive hits that take place, and for old guys such as myself, you know, we're walking around here with various afflictions, and she's been able to diagnose that inflammation is the main driver of a lot of the things in which we struggle to overcome. You know, whether it's Parkinson's, Alzheimer, depression. She's discovered that inflammation is the driver for a lot of those afflictions and possibly CTE. So if she's gonna conduct trials and studies on the brain and see if she can mitigate that inflammation that doesn't allow, you know, all those neurons to connect and fire as they used to prior to being injured.
The people who are watching the video, it's now going to smash cut to us having a conversation with the doctor, and she's going to explain it. But you explained it brilliantly, Brian, and
cool.
I think it's really fascinating to see how much people are pushing into the research in this area and how science is taking such a huge part in making this game safer. I love watching you on the college football.
Thank you.
You are so much fun, but also brilliantly knowledgeable. In the UK, there is a culture of people who love the draft, who love college football, who love the NFL as well. But, there's also this huge base of casual NFL fans, right, who really only start to pay attention to the draft around this time of year, maybe go back and watch a bit of college film, maybe start to find out about the prospects. I've got to talk about the number 1 overall guy. I think we all know Fernando Mendoza's going to the Raiders.
Yeah.
What are the Las Vegas Raiders getting in that quarterback?
Listen, you're getting a guy who's going to be a pro's pro. When I played in the NFL, it took me a little while to become a pro, unfortunately.
Around about the time you were about 2 months into your stint in Scotland, by the sounds of it.
Right. I was terrible. But he's a pro's pro, and the way he goes about his business, he's smart. He's seen pretty much everything. Everyone has thrown everything at him, and he's still been able to dissect and be productive, and not only be productive, be amazing. And the guy has a little bit more athleticism than you might think.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to that iconic run that would be shown on a loop in that championship game where he runs for the touchdown. I just think he is well-rounded. It's a little lofty to say he's a Tom Brady, but he is ready for the NFL from the standpoint of how he goes about his business and how smart he is about football. Football is about IQ. I don't care what position you play. If you play it long enough, you get a certain there are certain things you can't teach guys. You just learn from playing the position, playing the game. I played linebacker. I don't have to look down to know that there are guys around my feet. I learned to get your knees up, step over those guys while I'm still focusing on my target, the ball carrier. And he has that innate ability to know what's happening around him, climb in the pocket, get the ball off to his receivers, throw his receivers open, throw it before they even come out of their break. So he's a precision passer. He's as smart as they come, and he understands the game. He has football IQ in spades.
I mean, anticipation, great pocket presence, and a pro's pro. I think Tom Brady's going to fall in love with this guy.
Oh, if he hasn't, and he was on the sideline in the national title game, he should, because that's who he's reminded me of. And there have been others, but, Tom is more recent. That's how you have to play the position. You got guys that do that now. Matt Stafford's the type of year he's having. Even Drake May, the young quarterback who's going to be playing here in the Super Bowl. I love his game as well. He's a lot more athletic than a Fernando Mendoza, but there's no one smarter at the quarterback position than Fernando Mendoza.
What about, give us a prospect that maybe you're super excited about that you're not hearing as much buzz about, a guy who's going to go, and we get to the end of the year and suddenly they're the next, Nick Emmanwori, or the next, the guy who's just exploded onto the scene.
See, you're going to make me work here now, huh? I've gone.
That's what we do.
Once my season's over, I go deep undercover. I don't even want to talk sport. I'll tell you a guy who's known about, and I think a lot of people would be surprised if they hadn't watched Ohio State a lot, and how it's hard not to watch Ohio State. But Arvell Reese, at linebacker, number 8. And they're going to have a whole host of guys get drafted off that defense, as they do annually. But this kid, man, the size for an edge or outside backer, 6'4", 6'5", and can run. Lights out, running, and he's a physical backer. So he's going to blow it up. He's going to tear up the combine. Just look out for that name, Arvell Reese. And there's no one that's really jumping off the top right now that I think will be a shock. There always are some guys, though, and but no one really that.
That's all right. Arvell Reese is a great shout. I love to watch him play.
Yeah.
His length, his speed, his everything just is, I think.
Downs gets all the attention, of course, and then you had Styles at the other linebacker, but this Reese kid is phenomenal.
Look, Brian, we really appreciate your time. I know you're
Appreciate
absolutely
you.
slammed today. Thank you for joining us. We'll make sure the people of Scotland.
I want that burger. I want that fried cheeseburger.
Yeah, I think you won them back over after you previously said your time there was horrible. But otherwise,
it was boring as fudge.
really,
so boring. You can only drink so much Guinness and so much whiskey.
That's not true. I could drink whiskey and Guinness till the day that I die every day, quite happily, and I would live a happy life. So I don't agree with you there, sir. But we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
You got
Cheers,
it.
man.